Hello everyone, good morning. Hope you're well. So today is a Friday. It's a Zuma day. I think it's still some of the students, they are running out to join the class. So that's why we're gonna jump into the lesson a bit later. But still, I'm gonna give you some sort of values and that's gonna help you a lot. So first of all, can you please type in the chat box if you can hear me and listen to me. Type in the chat box very quickly and also answer me, how are you today? So I'm gonna read your comment in the chat box so that I can give you some sort of reply. Okay, so now I can see this. Okay, so still a few people are starting to join. That's absolutely fine. So please type in the chat box, how are you today? And can you please also make sure that what time have you finished your Zuma? Have you finished your prayer? If you have finished your prayer, please type in the chat box, yes, I prayed Zuma and I'm here, so that I can understand that you are ready to join the class. Right. So before starting the class today, I'd like to share with you is very important stuff. That is 4 things you need to consider. So English is nothing but a tool. So if you can hear me right now, please type in the chat box tool. English is nothing but a tool. English ki holo ekta tool, only a tool, right? So but your ultimate goal, what is your ultimate goal? Just I'm going to start from here. Let's say you are studying at university right now here and you'd like to do masters in the UK. You'd like to finish your foundation course, then you'd like to join the IELTS. Then once you get a better score in IELTS exam, you'd like to apply for United Kingdom to a particular university. You got the visa, you fly to UK, then you finished your course, then you got married, you bring your wife here, then you started working, then you change your visa route. Probably some of them will go for work permit, some of them will start their own business, some of them will go back home, some of them will fly to Canada or USA from here, whatever. Then you're gonna build your career, you're gonna work for a giant company. But what's the ultimate goal? Ultimate goal is happiness, right? So if you hear me right, please type in the chat box happiness. Happiness. So at the end of the doing all sort of things, either you would like to have a smile on your face, like, right, or you'd like to put a smile on your family face. That's the ultimate goal we have got. Is it true or true? Type in the chat box, right? So if it is true for you, please type in the chat box, it's true. I'd like to see how many of you are thinking like that way. So from here, you speak English 12 days, and here is happiness. So if you'd like to find your happiness from now on, you got to consider 4 things. How many things? Please type in the chat box. 4 things. Okay. So I can see a lot of people. Okay. Nazman said I prayed Juma. Okay. Thank you for responding me. A lot of students, Khan said perform Juma. And Akash perform Juma. That means you are on time. So it's really, really important, right? So whatever I just explained to you, আপনি আজকে ইংরেজি শিখতেছেন আর ফাইনাল ডেস্টিনেশন হলো আপনার হ্যাপিনেস, আপনার মুখে হাসি ফোটানো অথবা আপনার ফ্যামিলির মুখে হাসি ফোটানো. That's your ultimate happiness. So if you agree with that, there are 4 things you need to consider. You need to explore these 4 things and you need to improve it. And now in a minute, I'm going to share with you what are the 4 things you got to explore and you got to improve, right? So before sharing that, just I'm going to ask you questions. How many of you have submitted your homework? So if you have submitted your homework, please type in the chat box Haze W. Haze for home, W for work. Haze W, so that I can understand you have submitted your homework. Okay, so the 4 areas you got to explore. Number 1 is physical fitness. So type in the chat box if you heard me right. Physical fitness. So to be happy, there are 4 things you need to consider. Number 1 is physical fitness. So what I mean by physical fitness is you got to do some sort of physical exercise every day. So if you follow me on our page like Hassle Free Education Facebook page, you can see sometimes I do live while I'm running, jogging, or cycling, or playing badminton. So you got to be very active. And what happens is, if you run, or if you playing badminton, or if you are cycling, it's going to stimulate your blood, right? Once that stimulates your blood, that means you become so active. And if you find any sort of challenges, it comes to you once your blood is, stimulated, you can say, yes, I can do it. That's the attitude you got. So all you got to do is you need to do the physical exercise every day. And to be honest with you, when I have got so much challenge, so much stress, what I do, just I change the clothes, I wear a short, putting the trousers on, and just start running. And after 30 minutes, 45 minutes, once what is called, it's not blood, it's sweat. So once I see I'm sweating, my stress is gone out, literally like this, right? So this is the secret tip for you. So if you're really, really stressed, and if you have got so much things to do, so much struggling, so much challenge, the first thing you should start running. I'm not expert in this industry, but I'm sufferer. I'm the student. I'm learning. I'm doing these things. I'm action taker. So try it. If you're really, really stressed, if you're really, really having a lot of challenges, just start running in the morning or in the afternoon or at night when you come to the office. Don't make any excuses. Can you remember earlier I said you can make freaking excuses or you can make money. You can make freaking excuses or you can get a better score IELTS exam. You can make freaking excuses or you can be a fluent speaker. So choice is yours. What are you gonna do? So tip number one, you got to be very, very physical fitness. And these are the benefits I have shared with you, right? So type in the chat box, who do physical exercise mostly every single day? Type in the chat box. If you are doing physical exercise, please type in the chat box physical exercise. And if you don't do it, start from tomorrow. Tip number two is mental health. Mental health, right? So in developing countries, in South Asian countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan, they don't care about mental health. But in this country, the government spend billions of pounds on mental health. So what I mean by mental health is, this is something very important. You will understand. Some people, whatever you say, they say no. They're always mourning. They're always shouting. They're always in a fighting mood. So these people are suffering mental illness. So they need to have some sort of treatment to improve their mental health. And in this country, there are a lot of institutions, mental health nurses, doctors, they are working on it. So this is very, very important. And now I'm not talking or I'm not telling that you are what is called mental health patient. What I'm saying is sometimes we suffer, but we don't know. It happens to me as well, right? Sometimes I feel like I'm so much stressed. And this is another thing I need to understand is, if you are suffering mental health for a longer period of time, that means you become depressed, and that's how you become mental health patient. So make sure you are not that person. And now I'd like to give you some sort of tip. How can you avoid this mental illness, mental health issues? So number one is you got to put a security guard in your eyes, in your brain, what sort of things you are consuming. So now I'm giving some sort of examples. For example, now everybody has got a smartphone, and I know you are addicted on social media, and this is how I found you, my team found you. So the question is, how much time you are spending on social media? That's the first question. Second question is, what kind of what is called content you are consuming? Is it all of those things negative? So have you noticed that you are very good in a good mood, and all of a sudden you have just checked in your mobile phone and you watch some videos on Facebook and you become depressed? You don't feel like you are doing anything. So it happens to you. That means you are consuming the wrong content. So you got to have some sort of security guard here, so that, okay, these are the contents I'm going to avoid. And to be honest with you, the newspapers, TV, television news, they are always spreading most of the negative news. So I don't have any TV at my home. I don't watch television news. because once I start watching them, and even I don't read or watch Bangladeshi politics here and there. Once I watch or see, I feel so depressed. How come? I mean, people can do this, right? That's why I avoid those sort of newses. What I do or what I consume is I watch YouTube video from influencers, from mental health experts, from business experts, the audio books. If you just type in the chat box, on YouTube, like the book you would like to read, right? And it's gonna come out, and you can listen, you can watch. So that sort of contents I'm consuming, and I feel a lot more better after having that sort of content. So if you'd like to avoid that sort of mental health issues, you should choose what you are consuming. So from now on, you can do that. And the second thing is, and another thing I'd like to share with you is, the one thing I'd like to share with you is, every single day we feed our body. That means we eat 3 times in a day. In the morning, breakfast, then lunch, then dinner. My question is, what are you feeding in your mind? That's the questions. Ask yourself, what sort of food you are giving to your mind? Are you doing any training? Are you watching some sort of videos like video training? Are you reading some sort of books? Are you going for some sort of conference? So this is your mental food. So you should feed your brain every single day. Make sure you feed your brain. If you don't feed your brain the good stuff, you become crazy, and the mental health issues going on. So tip number 2 is mental health. Tip number 3 is spirituality. So type in the chat box if you understand spirituality. So spirituality means what? Type in the chat box. What do you mean by spirituality? So for example, this is Friday, you pray Juma, right? This is spirituality. So as a Muslim, go 5 times in the mosque if you can, otherwise pray 5 times. This is spirituality. That's going to give you mental peace, right? And if you are practicing other religions, do that. Go to church, go to temple, right? Whatever your religion is, go to that institution. Pray according to your religion. Practice it. It's going to give some sort of peace, right? So as a Muslim, what I do, I try to pray. And today is a blessed day, Juma day. I'll pray Juma prayer. So now it's 9 o'clock. I mean 9:15 in the morning. So this is the dress I'm wearing to go to office as well, because I'm gonna pray Juma as well. So this is how we can have a mental happiness as well. So I have shared with you 3 things. Number 1 is physical fitness. Number 2 is mental health. Number 3 is spirituality. And number 4, this is very important as well, it's called finance. So you got to be financially strong. So can you please type in the chat box, what are the 3 things I have shared with you? Physical fitness, mental fitness, spirituality. Type in the chat box. I'd like to see how many of you are following me. আমি dear beginners, এতক্ষণ আপনাদের সাথে যা আলোচনা করেছিলাম যে আপনি যদি সুখী হতে চান, হ্যাপিনেস পেতে চান, 4টা জিনিস আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? এক্সপ্লোর করতে হবে এবং ইমপ্রুভ করতে হবে। প্রথমটা ছিল ফিজিক্যাল ফিটনেস, অর্থাৎ প্রতিদিন আপনাকে physical exercise করতে হবে, এটা দৌড়ানো, সাইক্লিং, whatever you say. Second thing, I told you, it got to be some sort of feeding your mind, like mental health issues. So আপনার যদি mental health issues থাকে, approach to the doctor, right? Don't be shy. And most of the people, I mean sometimes they suffer this disease. It's called mental health issues or mental health illness. So and আপনি যদি এইটা থেকে বাঁচতে চান তাহলে কি করতে হবে? আপনাকে কোশ্চেন করতে হবে, কোন ধরনের কনজিউম আমি ইউটিউব, ফেসবুক থেকে কনজিউম করতেছি। যদি সেটা নেগেটিভিজম হয়, অ্যাভয়েড দ্যাট, স্কিপ দ্যাট, রাইট? ফাইন্ড আউট সাম পজিটিভ কন্টেন্ট। ভালো কিছু ইউটিউব থেকে দেখার চেষ্টা করেন, মোটিভেটিং, ইন্সপায়ারিং, then expert like doctors, business person, and educationists. So these kind of people you should watch and listen. Okay, so these are the 3 things, and the last one is financial freedom, financially strong. So আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? You got to be financially very, very strong. So if you don't have financial freedom, if you don't have money, these are the 3 things, still they cannot stop you to be happy, right? So if you, the moment you hand into someone else for help, just these 4 things has not got value anyway, right? So these are the 4 things you got to be very strong. So physical fitness, mental health, spirituality, and 4 is financial, what is called ability, financial freedom. These are the 4 things you got to explore and you got to improve. Once you can do that, you become happy. Try these 4 things. And still, if you are not happy, send me a message. Which area is still you are struggling to be happy? And to be honest with you, when I have got the combination of these 4 things, I'm in a peak mode, right? When I'm doing physical exercise, when I'm feeding something in my mind, getting some courses, watching a lot of training, listening to audiobook, and when I pray, and when I make some money, so I become so happy. Right? These are the 4 areas you got to be very, very strong. And if one of them is dropping down, you might become unhappy. So এই চারটার ব্যাপারে যদি কোনোটা আপনার নিচে নেমে যায় তাহলে কি হতে পারে, আপনি আনহ্যাপি হতে পারেন। Okay, dear learners, so that was the thing I got to share with you, because ultimately I know you are looking for happiness. You would like to put a smile on your face or on your family face, right? So now what I'm going to do today, I'd like to share with you what we have discovered. I think this is the class number 7, right? So type in the chat box what number class we are doing right now. কত নম্বর ক্লাস আমরা এখন করতে যাচ্ছি, একটু চ্যাট বক্সে আমাকে লিখে জানান very quickly. কত নম্বর ক্লাস আমরা করতে যাচ্ছি? Very quickly, please type in the chat box which number. Is it 7th, 6th, or 8th? কত নম্বর ক্লাস আমরা করতে যাচ্ছি? Please type in the chat box. And also, can you please type in the chat box understood if you understood the 4 things I have shared with you. যদি আপনি 4টা জিনিস আমি শেয়ার করেছি আপনাদের সাথে, যে কোন 4টা জিনিস আপনাদেরকে হ্যাপি হতে সাহায্য করবে, আপনি যদি পুরোপুরি বুঝে থাকেন একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান understood. Okay, this is now class number 7. So in the first class we learn how to introduce ourselves, and in the second class we have learned how to talk about the whole day what you do. In the third class we have learned how to say what my favorite person do. That means I can speak about a person. So then in the 5th class we have learned how to give a presentation, how to pick up a cue card and how to solve that, and how to give a presentation, a place you live in. And the next class we have learned the roadmap, the roadmap of my journey, the blueprint of my destination, right? That means how to get visa to study abroad. And the next class we have learned how to express yourself using the past form. So in the today's class we're gonna talk about how to use future form to describe the future event. So today's class is all about the future. So if you heard me right, please type in chat box future. So what I'm gonna do, I will first of all pull out my slide so that you can understand, and then we're gonna go for it. So please type in the chat box. So today's the structure would be, so structure number 1 was subject plus verb. Structure number 2 was do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Structure number 3 was WS plus do plus subject plus verb plus question mark. Structure number 4 was subject plus verb 2. Structure number 5 was did plus subject plus verb 1. Structure number 6 was WS plus did plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So today would be structure number 7, right? So can you please type in the chat box what would be the structure number 7? Structure number 7 is subject plus will plus verb 1. Structure number 7. Quickly type in the chat box subject plus will plus verb 1. Quickly type in the chat box subject plus will plus verb 1. That's gonna be structure number 7. Subject plus will plus verb 1. Okay, so in this structure we will practice a little bit. I know probably you are already familiar with this structure, but for the sake of practicing we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do a presentation, and then we're gonna finish the class. So now just I'd like to share with you is just I'm sharing my screen so that you can see it. So how many of you would like to get a certificate like this? Type in the chat box certificate. So if you'd like to get a certificate like this, please type in the chat box certificate. Right, so to get this certificate, all you got to do is you need to finish the course successfully, and you need to submit 12 presentation. Once you finish 12 presentation, then we're gonna provide you this certificate, and also you'll be eligible to get a free, IELTS preparation course. So make sure you finish your course and you submit all your homework in the Facebook group. So now this is the okay. Thank you for responding. So subject plus will plus verb one. That's right. So now according to this structure, we're gonna make some sentences. Here you go. So this is future event, and this is gonna be subject plus will plus verb one, and this is how I need to make sentences, right? So I will understand. We will understand, you will understand, they will understand, he will understand, she will understand, it will understand, Tony will understand. It's very straightforward. You don't have to think about s or yes. So future tense আমাদেরকে কি করতে হবে না, s by yes এর কথা চিন্তা করতে হবে না, like past. Only present form এ আমাদেরকে he, she, it, Tony এই চারটা সাবজেক্টের বেলায় future tense এ চারটা সাবজেক্টের বেলায় s by yes চিন্তা করতে হবে, বাট future tense এবং past tense এ s বা yes এর কোনো ব্যাপার নেই, right? So how are we going to make these sentences? Just follow the structure. I will understand, we will understand, you will understand, you will understand, they will understand, he will understand, she will understand, it will understand. That's it. This is how we're going to make a lot of sentences. Dear learners, are you ready to practice with me? If you're ready, please type in the chat box READY. Ready? I'd like to see how many of you would like to practice with me right now. Just put in the chat box. Ready? I know you are ready. So 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. I'll understand, we'll understand, you will understand, you will understand, they will understand, he will understand, she will understand, it will understand, Tony will understand. Right. So future যদি আপনি কোনো কিছু বলতে চান তাহলে এই স্ট্রাকচার ফলো করে আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করতে হবে। এই স্ট্রাকচারটা কি, সাবজেক্ট প্লাস will plus verb one. Very easy. Now challengers, now I'm going to give you a challenge. All you got to do is you need to give me 9 sentences in one breath, right? আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, 9টা সেন্টেন্সই আমাকে একটি শেষে দিতে হবে। So are you ready? Are you ready? I know you are ready. So give me 9 sentences on breath. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start loudly. I'll understand, we'll understand, you'll understand, you'll understand, they'll understand, he'll understand, she'll understand, it will understand, Tony will understand. Right. So if you made 9 sentences in one breath, please type in the chat box 9:1. 9:1. So in this case, when you make this thing, it's called contraction. দুইটা জিনিস মিশে একটা জিনিস হয়, এটাকে বলা হয় contraction. So আমি I will না বলে আমি কি বলছি, I'll understand. We will না বলে বলছি will understand. You will না বলে বলছি you will understand. They will understand. He will understand. She will understand. It will understand. Tony will understand. Just contraction, right? সংক্ষিপ্ত করে ফেললাম। I will understand না বলে কি বলছি, I'll, will, you will, they'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, Tony will. Very quickly, I'll understand, will understand, you'll understand, you'll understand, they'll understand, he'll understand, she will understand, it will understand, Tony will understand, right? So that's how you got to practice, and that's how you got to deliver your sentences while you're speaking. যখন আপনি স্পিকিং করবেন তখন এইরকম কুইকলি কন্ট্রাকশন করে বলবেন। I'll understand, I'll go, I'll see you, I will see you না বলে কি বলবেন, I'll see you, will see you, you'll see you, right? So this is how you need to make sentences. Is it clear to you কিভাবে কন্ট্রাকশন করতে হয়? I will, I'll, we will একসাথে বলবেন, will, you will, they'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, Tony will, right? So এই ব্যাপারটা যদি কন্ট্রাকশনের ব্যাপারটা যদি আপনার কাছে ক্লিয়ার হয়ে থাকে, আমাকে একটু চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান ক্লিয়ার। I'd like to see how many of you are really clear about this contraction. আমরা এখন থেকে I will না বলে কি বলবো, I'll, will, you'll, he'll, she'll. This is how. Now, so this is the thing we're going to practice right now. So you have already made 60 sentences for your presentation. So you made, first of all, what do you do every day? And secondly, you made what does your favorite person every day, like wakes up, gets up, refreshes, walks, leaves, right? Is by yes joke apni favorite person দিয়ে অনেকগুলো সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করেছেন। And then you made a lot of sentences using past form. What did you do yesterday? গতকালকে আপনি কি করেছিলেন? So you practice with past form. কিভাবে past form সেটা দিয়ে একটা প্রেজেন্টেশন তৈরি করেছেন। And today's presentation is what will you do tomorrow? What will you do tomorrow? So this is your presentation. So now we're going to start, right? So what I'm going to do, I will ask you to give me 60 sentences. 60 sentences. You're going to start from here and you're going to finish once you finish 60 sentences. And I believe that if you made last 3 presentations, I mean, what do you do every day? What does your favorite person do every day? And what did you do yesterday? So it's going to be really, really easy for you to give me 60 sentences. But if you haven't practiced the last 3 presentation, it's going to be really tough to make 60 sentences. Dear beginners, যদি আপনি লাস্ট 3টা প্রেজেন্টেশন দিয়ে থাকেন তাহলে এই প্রেজেন্টেশন আপনার জন্য খুবই সহজ হবে। আর যদি আপনি লাস্ট 3টা প্রেজেন্টেশনে ফাঁকি দিয়ে থাকেন, 60টা করে সেন্টেন্স তৈরি না করে থাকেন, তাহলে আপনার জন্য এই প্রেজেন্টেশনটা একটু টাফ হবে। এনিওয়ে, উই গোনা গিভ ইট ট্রাই, রাইট? আমরা কি করব? আমরা একসাথে 60টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব। রেডি? সো once I say go, আমাকে কি করবেন? 60টা সেন্টেন্স দিবেন। রেডি? কিভাবে তৈরি করবেন? I will এভাবে। রেডি? 3 2 1 go. Let's start. শুরু করেন, বলতে থাকেন loudly. Hi everyone, this is Habib. Today I'd like to share with you what I will do tomorrow. So first of all, I'll get up early in the morning around 6 o'clock. Then I'll go to washroom and take a brush and paste. Then I'll squeeze the paste and I'll brush my teeth, and then I'll wash my face, and of course I'll grab the towel to take the water out from my mouth, from my face. Then I'll leave washroom, and then I will go to kitchen. Keep going, don't stop, keep going, keep speaking, bolte thaken. Then I'll go to kitchen and I'll open the freeze, and then I'll take out some eggs, flowers, or paratha if it is frozen. Then I'll switch on the burner. Then I'll bake paratha and I'll fry egg, and then also I'll boil the water to make a cup of coffee. Then once I finish, once I prepare the breakfast, then I'll serve this breakfast to my family members, and I'll take the breakfast with them as well. And then I'll take a cup of tea. And once I finish my breakfast, then I'll, if you have got children, you can say, then I'll get ready my children, or I'll make my children ready to go to school, and I'll drop them up, and I'll come back home, I'll take shower, then I'll get ready to my office. And first of all, I'll leave home, then I will take a rickshaw to go to bus station. And once I go to bus station, I'll buy a ticket, get into the bus, then I'll take the journey, and it's gonna take like 20 minutes to go to my office. And I'll take down from the bus, and then I'll walk down 5 minutes to the office. And once I go to the office, I will greet everyone else. Hi, good morning, how are you? Then once I meet everyone else, then I will go to my boss or my manager to talk about what the task I have got today I'll do. And once I'll get my task, then I'll go to my chair, or I'll go to my table, I'll sit down, then I'll start doing my work. So around 12 o'clock, I will make another cup of tea. Probably if you have got assistant, then I'll request an assistant to make a cup of tea for me. I'll enjoy a cup of coffee, then I'll start again doing my work. And so around 12 o'clock or 12:30, especially I take a small break again for 5-10 minutes, and then I focus on my work. Then at around 1 o'clock, I will take a break, and I will open my tiffin box. I will have my lunch, and after that I will again request one of my assistant to make a cup of tea for me. So just to give some sort of ideas, in this country there is no assistant. I have to do everything by myself, right? But in Bangladesh, you have got peon, you have got assistant, and they do a lot of things for you. However, so once I finish my lunch, then I will come back to my office and I will start working, and I'll focus on my work. And around okay, exactly 6 o'clock, I'll finish my job, and then I'll leave office again. I'll walk down to bus stop and I'll take a bus, and I'll get down on the destination, and then I'll take a rickshaw and I'll go home. Around 7 o'clock or 6:30, you can say, I'll arrive my home. Then I'll get into the home, I'll refresh myself, then I'll make another cup of tea, and I will see what I'm gonna cook for dinner. And this is how I make my dinner. And then I again invite my family members to have the dinner with me. And once I finish dinner, then I organize my kitchen, dining table, and all that stuff. And then around 10 o'clock, I read a book, some pages. And once I feel sleepy, like around 10:30 or 11 o'clock, I go to bed and I just sleep. And before going to bed, most of the time I look onto my journal, what I have got to do tomorrow, if I've got anything special, and I go to sleep. And this is how I will spend my time tomorrow. Thanks for listening to me, right? So you got to give a presentation like this. Do you understand? You got to make 60 sentences. If you can make 100 sentences, that's even better. So try at least to make 60 sentences. And once you practice this presentation, you will be able to deliver a lot of sentences in future, and you'll be confident enough to deliver if someone asks you regarding the future thing. So if you practice this presentation like 10-15 times, and after that, if someone asks you, so do you have any plan for holiday? So what about your thinking to go? Where would you like to go? You need future. Well, yeah, I have started thinking to go to holiday next year, and I'll go to Switzerland, or I'll go to Cox's Bazar, or I'll go to Yorkshire. So by the way, we are going to Yorkshire for holiday next week, right? So that's how you need to practice. And lastly, I'd like to ask you, can you remember I asked you how many of you are really struggling with your fluency? And some of them you said, yes, I'm struggling with fluency, I need some sort of help. So if you need some sort of help regarding fluency, practice these 4 questions 3 times in a day, next 30 days. What are the 4 questions? What do you do every day? What does your favorite person do every day? What did you do yesterday? And what will you do tomorrow? So my question is, how many questions you got to practice to get your fluency? Type in the chat box. I'd like to see. Type in the chat box. Dear challengers, type in the chat box. How many questions you got to practice if you'd like to get your fluency? Type in the chat box. How many questions? And if you know, the answer is 4 questions. Now the next question is, do you know what are the 4 questions? If you know, please type in the chat box. Yes, I do. So I'm asking you 2 questions. First of all, answer me how many questions you got to practice to get your fluency. And number 2, second question is, do you know what are the 4 questions you got to practice? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. So dear beginners, যদি আপনার ফ্লুয়েন্সি নিয়ে সমস্যা থাকে তাহলে আপনাকে 4টা কোশ্চেন প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। আর সেই 4টা কোশ্চেন কি? প্রতিদিন আপনি কি করেন, আপনার ফেভারিট পারসন প্রতিদিন কি করে, গতকালকে আপনি কি করেছিলেন, আগামীকাল আপনি কি করবেন। এই 4টা কোশ্চেন দিয়ে যদি আপনি নেক্সট 30 ডেজ অর্থাৎ নেক্সট 30 দিন আপনি যদি 3 বার করে ডেইলি প্র্যাকটিস করেন, you will get your fluency. আপনি আপনার ফ্লুয়েন্সি পাবেন, বলতে থাকবেন। People will be surprised. How come you speak English such a nice way? And we'll see there is a secret. Only 4 questions I'm practicing, right? So did you understand the whole thing what I just said? If you really understood, please type in the chat box understood. Type in the chat box understood. Okay, so I can see a lot of students are answering. Thank you for responding. So Shoaib says, yes, I know. Sam said, yes, I do. Khan said, yes, I do. Islam said, yes, I do. Niba said, yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you. So if you know someone else who is struggling to get their fluency, help them out. help them out. You're gonna get so up, right? They're gonna make dua for you. I know there are a lot of students, they say, I can make sentences, I understand the vocabulary, I know the meaning of vocabulary, but when you ask a question in English, I cannot answer it. If you bomb on me, the mouth is not giving any sort of sentences. Bomb marleo mukh diye kotha ber hoy na. Tell them, guys, I got a medicine for you. You don't need bomb to open your mouth. Just practice these 4 questions. Right? And now you can ask me, how do I know that if someone is practicing these 4 questions, they will be fluent in English? First of all, once upon a time, I was a student. I studied history. I was kicked out from my class because I couldn't understand a word. That's called embargo. And then I took the challenge. I said, whatever it takes, I'm going to learn English. Do you know my story? Why I have started learning English? Do you know? So once upon a time, I was doing a class in masters, and one of my teacher, he was doctorate, and he got PhD from America, and he used to give a lecture in English, and he was teaching us Second World War, দ্বিতীয় বিশ্বযুদ্ধ পড়াচ্ছিল, and all of a sudden he used a word, it's called embargo. So if you know the meaning of embargo, please type in the chat box, embargo. But I was taking a lot of notes, and he was delivering his lectures. I was taking a lot of notes, and all of a sudden I didn't understand what does the meaning of embargo. And I raised my hand. I said, excuse me, sir, I didn't understand. What do you mean embargo? Can you please say it? And I forgot there was a rule in the class. During the lecture, you cannot ask him a question. If you've got a question, write it down. At the end of the lesson, he's going to give you a Q&A session, and you can ask him, right? So ওই মাস্টার্স ক্লাসে একটা রুল ছিল যে আপনি ক্লাসে কোনো কোশ্চেন করতে পারবেন না যখন সে লেকচার ডেলিভার দেবে, বাট এট দ্য এন্ড অফ হিজ লেকচার আপনি সময় পাবেন কোশ্চেন করার। বাট আমি ভুলে গিয়েছিলাম, রাইট? সো দেন হি বিকাম ফিউরিয়াস, হি গট অ্যাংরি, এন্ড আই সেড, গেট আউট ফ্রম মাই ক্লাস. You are a student of masters and you don't know understand what's the meaning of embargo. Get out of my class, right? Back up. And my color is brown. I was getting like red. I was insulted. All the classmates was looking into me. I said, why shouldn't I die right now? So I went outside of the class. I was like crying. I went to the washroom and I washed my face. I was crying in the bathroom, washroom, and I left the campus, university. And then I went to Chittagong town center, Chittagong town, Chittagong city, and I visited 5 spoken institutes who teach English, right? And I asked them, I don't have any basic. Can I be a fluent speaker? Can I speak in English? And once I visited 5 of them, I selected one, I gave the money, I took admission, and I started, right? So that was me. That's why I know. So even in SSC, I was failed in test in English. SSC te English e fail করেছিলাম test e. In intermediate, somehow I managed to pass, right? So if you're like me, you are in the right place. All you got to do is you got to listen to me, what I'm saying. You don't have to suffer a lot. You don't have to be insulted to learn English. আপনাকে অপমানিত হতে হবে না ইংরেজি শেখার জন্য, right? But I was blessed that I was insulted. Otherwise, I wouldn't come so far. Sometimes insulting is a blessing. Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box. Insulting is a blessing. কেউ যদি আপনাকে ইংরেজি শেখার জন্য ইনসাল্ট করে, আপনার কি হবে? আপনার আরো ভিতর থেকে আপনি ইন্সপায়ার্ড হবেন যে I'll show you one day I can speak English too. This is how we got to take challenge, right? So why I'm saying this, because I was a student once upon a time. I was suffering a lot, and now I learn English, and the way I learn English I'm teaching you right now. অনেকেই আমার মতো আছেন যারা প্রথম থেকে অনেক ইংলিশ সাফার করেছেন ইংরেজি শেখার জন্য, বাট সামহাউ এখনো আপনি শিখতে পারেন নাই। বা আমি যেইভাবে শিখেছি সহজ পদ্ধতিতে আপনাদেরকে সেইভাবে শিখাচ্ছি, বাট আপনাকে যেটা করতে হবে সেটা হলো আমার ইনস্ট্রাকশন ফলো করতে হবে। এই 12টা দিন সময় দিতে হবে, আধা ঘন্টা বা 1 ঘন্টা করে প্রতিদিন প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে, and enjoy your life. আপনার যখন বেসিক স্ট্রং হয়ে যাবে, তারপর আপনি আইএলটিএস করবেন, আইএলটিএস করার পর একটা সুন্দর একটা স্কোর পাবেন, দেন আপনি ইউনিভার্সিটি অ্যাপ্লাই করবেন, ফ্লাই করবেন, রাইট? I'm not asking you money, so once you go in that position, you will make dua for me automatically. I don't have to ask to you. আপনি যখন ইউকে, ইউএসএ, কানাডাতে সেটেল হয়ে যাবেন, তখন আপনার মন থেকে এমনিতে দোয়া আসবে। So for a reason, for a person, I'm here today. Hassle Free Education helped me a lot. The whole team was very, very helpful. And when you pray, you're gonna, raise your hand and you're gonna say, yeah, make them abundance, make them happiness. Okay, so this is the thing. This is the thing you got to understand as well. And one more thing you need to understand as well. So the more struggles you will face, you will be more stronger. যত স্ট্রাগল, যত চ্যালেঞ্জ আপনি ফেস করবেন, তত আপনি স্ট্রং হবেন, রাইট? And nothing is impossible in this world. Nothing is impossible in this world. আমি আপনাদের সাথে শেয়ার করেছি, আমার বাবা হাই স্কুলের টিচার ছিলেন, আমার মা প্রাইমারি স্কুলের টিচার ছিলেন। হ্যাঁ, আপনি জানেন তাদের ইনকাম কত? I'm talking about 10 years ago, probably 15,000-20,000 টাকা. From that family, I'm here today. I'm making millions of pounds in the UK. I've got a team of like 27 people. I've got offices in London, Birmingham, Manchester. Then we have got offices in Dhaka, Sylhet, India, Pakistan, right? So everything is possible. All you got to do is you got to be hungry for success. And the universe will connect to you what you need to have. You don't have to worry about that. Just you got to work on your purpose. আপনাকে কি করতে হবে? আপনাকে সাকসেসের জন্য খুবই হাংরি হতে হবে, রাইট? আপনার যদি ভিতরে এই হাংরিনেসটা থাকে, the resources will be connected automatically. I didn't know where I'm going to get the money when I was started, doing the process. I didn't have any clue. But I know that I have got a God who's going to help me out through the process. A lot of people said no to me, no to my dad when he was borrowing money from someone else. But some of the people, they say, yes, I'm going to give you, invest you. And I have got a very good relationship with them. I thank them. I'm really, really grateful. Still, my dad, he borrowed some money from someone else, one of his students, like 10 lakhs, right? So he said, my son is going to go to university in the UK and we've got to show some sort of bank solvency in the bank. Can you please help me out? I don't have any cash in the bank. And he said, of course, I'm going to give you. And still I see him, I say, I'm so grateful to you. If you wouldn't help me in that time, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't make millions of pounds in the UK. I'm so thankful to you. So this is another lesson I'm sharing with you. If you get some sort of help from someone else, thank them always. Be grateful to them. Be grateful to them. And what happens is, once you start giving thanks, the universe will give you more. যখনই আপনি গ্রেটফুল থাকবেন, যখনই আপনি আরেকজনকে ছোট ছোট হেল্পের জন্য ধন্যবাদ দিবেন, তখন কি দেখবেন? ইউনিভার্স আপনাকে, গড আপনাকে আরো বেশি দিচ্ছে, right? So be thankful, be grateful if you are getting some sort of help from someone else. So that's the lesson I'm here to share with you today, right? So I don't have to share a lot of things, but if you understand this today's lesson, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your life, right? So please make sure you do it. So now let's go to the structure number 8. So if you'd like to make a question, so you got to follow this structure. So will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Can you please type in the chat box? Will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Just type in the chat box. Will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So this is how you need to ask question in future. Future tense use করে আপনি যখন কোশ্চেন করতে চাবেন, তখন এই ধরনের স্ট্রাকচার আপনি ফলো করবেন। আপনি ভবিষ্যৎ সম্পর্কে কাউকে কোশ্চেন করতে চান, তাহলে এই ধরনের স্ট্রাকচার ফলো করবেন, রাইট? So please type in the chat box, will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Type it right now. And if you keep typing whatever I'm asking, you are mastering the things. So if you type once, it's equal to practice 10 times. আপনি যদি একবার লিখেন, এটা 10 বার মুখে প্র্যাকটিস করার সমান। So quickly type in the chat box, will plus subject plus verb one plus question mark. And one more thing is, I can see in the messenger group, some of you are really, really helpful, really, really great. So yeah, keep doing that. আমি দেখছি অনেকেই মেসেঞ্জারে একজন আরেকজনকে হেল্প করতেছেন, is very good, very good. That's the community I wanted to build, right? আমি দেখছি মেসেঞ্জারে আপনারা একজন আরেকজনকে খুবই হেল্প করেন। এই কমিউনিটি আমি আপনাদেরকে উপহার দিতে চাচ্ছি, যে একজন আরেকজনকে হেল্প করবেন, একজনের কোনো প্রবলেম হলে আরেকজনের জাম করবেন, বলবেন এইটা এইভাবে হেল্প করা যায়, কেউ একটা কিছু বুঝতেছে না, আপনারা একজন আরেকজনকে হেল্প করবেন। That's the community I wanted, really, really wanted, and I'm giving this community. So please help each other. যদি আপনাদের স্পিকিং পার্টনার না থাকে, আপনি ওই জায়গায় বলতে পারেন আই নিড এ স্পিকিং পার্টনার। আরেকজনের যদি স্পিকিং পার্টনার থাকে, আপনি বলতে পারেন থ্যাংক ইউ ফর পোস্টিং, I'd like to be your speaking partner. Can I practice right now? Or can you schedule for practicing? যখনই একজন বলবেন যে আমার স্পিকিং পার্টনার দরকার, আরেকজন জাম্প করে বলবেন আমি তোমার স্পিকিং পার্টনার হতে চাই, আমি কি স্কেডিউল করতে পারি কখন তোমার সাথে স্পিকিং প্র্যাকটিস করব? দিনে একটা সময় স্কেডিউল করে ফেলেন, এইভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করেন, you will be benefited, right? So will plus subject plus verb one. So this is how we need to practice. So will I speak? Will we speak? Will you speak? Will you speak? Will they speak? Will he speak? Will she speak? Will it speak? Will Tony speak? Right? This is how we need to practice. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Will I speak? Will you speak? Will you speak? Will they speak? Will he speak? Will she speak? Will it speak? Will Tony speak? Thank you. Thank you. Now the challenge is we're gonna make 9 sentences in one breath. কি করব আমরা? 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব এক নিঃশ্বাসে। Are you ready for that? If you're ready, let's start. Right? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Will I speak? Will you speak? Will you speak? Will you speak? Will they speak? Will he speak? Will she speak? Will it speak? Will Tony speak? That's it. Right. So please type in the chat box if you made 9 sentences in one breath. I'd like to see. I'd like to see. I'd like to see. So next verb is understand. So now we're gonna make 9 sentences using understand. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Will I understand? Will you understand? Will you understand? Will they understand? Will he understand? Will she understand? Will it understand? Will Tony understand? Right? So have you made 9 sentences again with understand? If you made 9 sentences with understand, please type in the chat box understand. Type in the chat box understand. Right? So next one is help. Help. Right? Ready? We're gonna make 9 sentences one more time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Will I help? Will you help? Will you help? Will you help? Will they help? Will he help? Will she help? Will it help? Will Tony help? Excellent. So now we're gonna go for, so this is a structure number 8, right? Now we're gonna go for a structure number 9, WS question. Can you please type in the chat box what would be a structure number 9? কেউ আমাকে chat box এ লিখে জানান structure number 9 কি হতে পারে? Type in the chat box very quickly. Structure number 9 using WS question. WS question দিয়ে structure number 9 টা কি হতে পারে আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান very quickly. Very quickly. So structure number 9 would be WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Very quickly type in the chat box. I'd like to see how many of you would like to make questions using deep questions. So we also call it deep questions, right? We also call it deep questions. So make sure you know the structure number 9. So WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Very quickly. WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. So you are about to be correct, but you missed something. Okay. So WS plus, very quickly, WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. WS plus will plus verb 1 plus question mark. WS plus will plus subject. So some you missed subject. WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Okay, excellent. Thank you. Thank you. WS plus will plus subject plus verb 1 plus question mark. Okay, excellent. Thank you. So now we're going to practice with why. W's question is why. So why will I practice? Why will you practice? Why will you practice? Why will they practice? Why will he practice? Why will she practice? Why will it practice? Why will Tony practice? Shasha. Right. Next one is when. When will I practice? Just you need to follow the sequence. When will I practice? When will we practice? When will you practice? When will they practice? When will he practice? When will she practice? When will it practice? When will Tony practice? That's it. So now we're gonna practice, right? So this is how you need to make sentences. Now we're gonna practice with why. Are you ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Why will I practice? Why will you practice? Why will you practice? Why will you practice? Why will they practice? Why will he practice? Why will she practice? Why will it practice? Why will it Tony practice? Right? Have you made 9 sentences? If you made 9 sentences, please type in the chat box 9. Please type in the chat box 9 quickly. Quickly. So next one is when. When. So using when, we're gonna practice. When is good. I'm going to practice. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. When will I practice? When will you practice? When will you practice? When will you practice? When will they practice? When will he practice? When will she practice? When will it practice? When will Tony practice? Right. So next one, we're gonna practice it how. Right. So if you made 9 sentences using when, please type in the chat box done. Please type in the chat box done. So next one, we're gonna practice it how. যদি আপনি when দিয়ে 9টা সেন্টেন্স প্র্যাকটিস করে থাকেন তাহলে আমাকে চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে জানান done. Right. So we're gonna practice it how. So how will I practice? How will you practice? How will you practice? How will they practice? How will he practice? How will she practice? How will it practice? How will Tony practice? Right. So if you made 9 sentences in one breath, so please type in chat box 9:1. 9:1. So next one is where. Where. So this time our challenge is to we're gonna make 9 sentences in one breath, right? So where দিয়ে আমরা 9টা সেন্টেন্স তৈরি করব এক নিঃশ্বাসে। Are you ready? Are you ready? I know you are ready, right? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. Where will I practice? Where will you practice? Where will you practice? Where will they practice? Where will he practice? Where will she practice? Where will it practice? Where will Tony practice? So if you made 9 sentences using where, please type in chat box 9:1. 9:1. 9:1. Right. So the last one is which language? Which language? So using which language, we're gonna make 9 sentences one more time. Ready? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's start. So which language will I practice? Which language will you practice? Which language will you practice? Which language will you practice? Which language will they practice? Which language will he practice? Which language will she practice? Which language will it practice? Which language will Tony practice? So if you made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 into 9, 5 multiply 9 is 45 sentences. If you made 45 sentences with me, please type in chat box 45. Type in the chat box 45. I'd like to see how many of you made 45 sentences. So I'm going to recommend you, please practice this structure at home. 10 minutes, practice this. Keep practicing. So take a challenge like, okay, I'm not stopping until I make 45 sentences, right? So আপনারা কি করতে পারেন, বাসায় আপনি একটা চ্যালেঞ্জ নিতে পারেন যে 10 মিনিট আমি এই স্ট্রাকচারটা প্র্যাকটিস করব। কিভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করব? আমি থামবো না। Well, I'll take breath. আমি নিঃশ্বাস নিব, বাট আমি থামবো না until I make 45 sentences. আপনি শুরু করতে পারেন why দিয়ে 9টা সেন্টেন্স, when দিয়ে 9টা, how দিয়ে 9টা, where দিয়ে 9টা, which language দিয়ে 9টা। 45 সেন্টেন্স শেষ করে তারপরে আপনি কি করলেন, একটু পানি বা চা খেলেন, then you should start again. So this time I'm gonna make a bit faster. আর একটু faster তৈরি করলেন। So take a break for 1 minute, drink water or tea, then start making again 45 sentences. So if you keep practicing like 10 minutes every single day according to this structure, you will make sentences a bit faster. So অনেকেই বলেন fluency. আপনি যদি এইভাবে প্র্যাকটিস করেন আপনার fluency automatically চলে আসবে, right? So now what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna give you a homework very quickly. Right, so this is the homework I'm gonna give you. So what will you do if you get 1 core? What will you do if you generate 1 core or if you make 1 core? This is the homework, right? So what are the things you got to say in this presentation? What three things will you buy and enjoy? What three things will you buy and enjoy? So you're gonna spend 70% on these things. What will you do with 30%? What will you do with the remaining 30%? And number three is, if you really got to do these things, how will you shape your career to earn that code? Right. So let me explain one more time. আপনি এই প্রেজেন্টেশনে কি করবেন? তিনটা ভাগে ভাগ করবেন। প্রথমে আপনি বলবেন যে 1 কোটি টাকা যদি আপনি পান তাহলে 70% টাকা দিয়ে আপনি কি করবেন, কি কি জিনিস কিনবেন, কি কি এনজয় করবেন। দেন 30% টাকা আপনি দিয়ে কি কি করবেন, রাইট? সো এন্ড লাস্ট কোশ্চেন হলো যে আপনি যদি এইগুলো আপনার করতে হয় তাহলে আপনি কি ক্যারিয়ার চুজ করবেন যেটা দিয়ে আপনি 1 কোটি টাকা বানাইতে পারবেন? কি ক্যারিয়ার চুজ করবেন? রাইট? সো if you don't believe in yourself, that's fine, absolutely fine. Then say, I'll buy a lottery, but I don't believe in lottery. But if you do this, it's gonna help you a lot to focus what you want to become. Do the real thing. Do the real thing. For example, if I would like to give this presentation, I'll say something like this. So, hi everyone. Today I'd like to share with you what I'll do if I win or if I get 1 crore. So first of all, I'm gonna share with you 3 things or what I'm gonna do today, spending 70%. So number one thing, I'll buy a house for my family because I believe that this is very, very important. And the beautiful house I'm gonna buy, it has to have a pond, it has to be a little bit field, and it has to be located somewhere near to the main road, but it has to be the environment in a village because I love living in a village, right? And the second thing, I'd like to buy a car as well because I love driving car, and I'd like to buy a Toyota, or I'd like to buy a Range Rover, or I'd like to buy something else, right? So one side, but in Bangladesh you can't do this because if you'd like to buy Range Rover, you got to spend probably 1 crore over there. But in this country, you don't have to pay like 300-400 times tax. 300 থেকে 400 গুণ আপনাকে ট্যাক্স পে করতে হয় না। It's cheap here in Range Rover, right? So then you can say, you know, the remaining 30%. Okay, and one more thing is I'd like to build a school in my area. So the rich people, of course, I'm gonna hire a lot of experienced, smart, dynamic teachers, and I'd like to build a kindergarten, and it's gonna be investment of 10 lakhs. And by doing that, basically I'd like to provide the best quality education to that area, and I'd like to charge some sort of money from the affluent family, I mean, who has got money, and I'd like to give free this education to the people who are not affluent, who are poor basically. And the remaining 30% money, what I'm gonna do, I will donate to the mosque, orphanage, or I'd like to build the orphanage, and I'd like to help And finally, I'd like to share with you, I mean, really I want to do this in my life, and that's why I'd like to start my own business. That's the first thing. This is how I'm gonna do it. So for now, I'm taking preparation for English course. Then I'm gonna do IELTS, and I'm gonna fly to the UK. And once I go there, I will try my best to get settled there. And by this time, I will work in different organizations, especially business environment. I'll learn marketing, sales, management, and all that stuff. And once I get experience of like 5 to 10 years, then I'll have that much confidence. I'll have some sort of savings to start my own business. And once I start own business, first year, I'd like to hit like 10,000. Second year, I'd like to make it double, 20. The next year, I'd like to make 40. Next year, I'd like to make, and this is how I'm gonna hit 1 crore in Bangladesh taka. Thanks for listening to me. রাইট? সো আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, কোন 3টা বা 5টা থিংস আপনি করবেন সে টাকা দিয়ে, সেটা একটা লিস্ট করবেন এবং সেটা বলবেন। তারপরে 30% টাকা কোথায় ডোনেট করবেন বা অন্য আর কি কি করবেন সেটা বলবেন। দেন আপনি টাকা কিভাবে ইনকাম করবেন সেটা বলবেন। সো দিস 3 parts you got to do it. Only 3 parts. So how many of you think you can give a presentation on this? Type in chat box me. আমি একটু দেখতে চাই যে কতজন এই জায়গায় আছেন যারা এই সাবজেক্টের উপরে একটা প্রেজেন্টেশন দিতে চান। প্রথম পার্ট হবে আপনি কি কি জিনিস কি কি জিনিস স্পেন্ড করবেন, 70% মানি আপনার স্পেন্ড করবেন। তারপরে আপনি বলবেন 30% আর কোথায় কোথায় স্পেন্ড করবেন। আর ফাইনালি আপনি এই জিনিসগুলো যে করতে চান, এই 1 কোটি টাকা কিভাবে আপনি ইনকাম করবেন। সো যদি আপনার কোনো ক্লু না থাকে, আপনি সেক্ষেত্রে বলতে পারেন যে I wish I'll buy a lottery and I'll win 1 crore, right? But I definitely recommend you be real. So yeah, be real. Write down your goal, make a plan how you're gonna hit 1 crore, right? So in my childhood I don't have any clue how I'm gonna do it, but I have got it some sort of hobbies, interest. That was traveling. I was thinking today, this week I'll be in Dhaka, next week I'll be in Singapore, next week I'll be flying in London, next week I'll be flying in Washington. That was my dream, right? And that dreams helped me to start my business. So write it down in your diary. And to be honest with you, I think that dream supported me to be here today. So don't underestimate your dream. Your ambition is very powerful. Dream big, not big, even bigger, the biggest, right? So there is nothing cost to dream. Just dream, I would say, right? স্বপ্ন দেখতে পয়সা লাগে না, যখন দেখবেনই বড় স্বপ্ন দেখেন, and then work on it, right? Just start thinking how I'm going to achieve that dream, I'm going to materialize that dream. So once you start thinking, then you're going to take action, and once upon a time you're going to hit that dream and you will live in your dream. For example, I'm living in my dream. Once upon a time it was a dream, now I'm living in my dream. You're going to do the same thing. So dear learners, thank you for joining me my class today, and tomorrow we're gonna go a bit, what is called, very important class. So dear IELTS candidate, as I told you, so to get a better score IELTS exam, so especially in speaking, I told you you got to have fluency, you got to have vocabulary, you got to have variation of sentences, and you have got to have pronunciation. So these are the things we're gonna teach you in upcoming classes. So one day we're gonna go through the class. It's called transformation of sentence. So positive, that's gonna be so that's gonna be simple, complex, compound, then positive, comparative, superlative, and then passive, and then preposition, then pronunciation as well. So these are the classes coming up. So don't miss even a single class. So once you understand, you will be able to have variation of expressions, sentences in your writing, in your speaking, and this is how you will be able to get a better score in IELTS exam. So don't miss even a single class. So the advanced level of classes are coming. You can't afford to miss even a single class, right? So please type in the chat box, how did you find today's class? আজকের ক্লাসটা আপনাদের কাছে কেমন লেগেছে আমাকে একটু chat box এ লিখে জানান. If it is okay, type in chat box of okay. If it is excellent, type in the chat box excellent. If it is outstanding, type in the chat box outstanding. Just I'd like to see your feedback, and see you tomorrow in the same time. Until then, Allah Hafiz. Stay well, stay blessed. Be grateful.